Hello, BookTube. I've got a book haul for you today. It's mostly Ned Kelly themed. If you don't know who he is, I hope I will explain it in this video. If not, you'll just be lost, and that's okay. You can just do a wiki search later. But I have majority of the book haul today is him, but I do have two ones that aren't, and so I'll show you them. The first book we have, and I've already showed this in my like wrap ups, February wrap up or whatever, and I loved it. But I got this book after I done my last haul, so I was like, oh, I'll just include it here. And that's Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. I love Douglas Stewart. He's like, if you want a little life and you want more books of that, pick up him. He's just amazing. Whenever he drops a new book, I am there and I will happily read it. So we have that. And then we have Tom Neely's The Commonwealth Thieves. And this is an early history of Australia. I don't know much about it besides that. And I hope it's good because I'm always on the hunt for early Australian history. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I can't wait to read the notes, the introductions. I'm gonna have a look, snoop my way through it. But yeah, so I got that and I was very excited to see that. Okay, now we got the Ned Kelly stuff. This is a lot. It's free. It's 6 books, but we'll get there. Um, First one we have, and this is the one I think you should start with, is Black Snake, the real story of Ned Kelly. And I found this as a hardcover, and pretty much I always say start here is because so many biographies and histories of him are so biased. They are very much get caught up in the myth of him. But this was written by one of the police officers' grandchildren who was murdered at the Stringy Bark Creek murders, and I'll explain that later. But pretty much, yeah, it's his son, it's his grandson writing about like doing an overall history of Ned. But also towards the end, I really liked it. He talked about how Ned's presence in culture changed over time, how he went from being an obvious criminal and murderer, and how he kind of changed into like a folk hero, against the authorities type of anti-hero, and the impacts that had on his family too, and like the other police officers' families. And I thought that was really interesting. I think it's a bit harder to understand if you're not from Australia, just how many people, love him, and he's like the Jack the Ripper pretty much of Australia in terms of the landmarks, in terms of the perception of him in the public. And I don't get it, but yeah, pick this up. It's really lovely. If you just want the one, this is a really great place to start. And it's well written. It's nice narrative nonfiction. It tells it like a story. And yeah, I think there's a photo in here where you may know him because I'll show you his armor, and I'll show you a photo of him. I won't show you the terrifying death mask because that scared me when I first saw it. But I've got to find it. Maybe it's in the other one, the other book I'm going to show you. No, it's in the other book. But that's alright, I'll show you it. Next, we have... This is 2022's Nabbing Ned Kelly. And I love this. I've done it as an audiobook in like a day. It's, again, a lovely, unbiased history. Very nice narrative. And I don't know what to explain really, because it's just read it. that's what my channel can be boiled down to. Just pick it up and read it. But I'll see if I can find a photo of Mr. Edward Kelly for you. I haven't had to look through these drawings, these pictures, because I've done them as audiobooks, and it's nice to actually look through them because I've been holding off because I get a bit too excited. You can always just Google him if you want, but here's a drawing of him. As you can see, if I aim it right, he's got his armor. I think there's a better photo actually. There you go. Here's a photo of Edward right here. So you can, I'm trying to get the angle right. There he is, as you can see. Then we have, I'll show you what his armor looks like because that's his most famous thing. We have his armor here. There you go. That's what he wore. It was very heavy. I would have died if I had that on. But I guess when you're that drunk, maybe you don't feel it because he was very hammered when the Glen Rowan shootout happened, which got him arrested. And yeah, then we have Ned Kelly's last days. This is the terrifying death mask zoomed up. I don't know why they do that, but I guess. And I haven't actually looked at this. I just saw it in an op shop and I picked it up. Yeah, it's like it's more focused on. It looks like his court case and the final like couple weeks he was in prison before he was hanged. And yeah, I think that's a nice area to start. Talks about the jury, the court case, all those photos, and it's interesting. I always find it a bit disturbing when you always, sorry, you always have older cases like this, or Jack the Ripper, or stuff from years and years and years ago, where sorry, they show just casual dead bodies, like they literally have one of the Kelly gang members, literally his corpse just propped up on a wall, and I'm like, okay, and you get that a lot of Jack the Ripper. It's like, here's what the victims looked like, here's the crime scene photos, here it all is. And it's a bit confronting, but I guess when it's that old, you can kind of detach yourself from it in a way, which is a bit messy. But so I got that too. And then I found his Jubilee letters. This is Ned Kelly's manifesto. Is a better photo of him, the same one. And this was pretty much, so he robbed a bank. And while he was in that small town, he was like, I'm going to write a manifesto. Well, he didn't write it because I don't think he could write. But he got someone else to write it, and it's unhinged. He ranted about the authorities in Australia because his parents were Irish immigrants, and he was very angry because they arrested his mum. And I'll get to his mum later because I have a biography of her here. But he was very angry about that, and I don't know what, we'll never know why she was arrested in particular because I don't want to get into the law, but he was very angry. Let's just say that for question, like he was angry, and it didn't help that at the time, so many Irish immigrants. It was something like 70-something% of the Australian police force in the 1880s or whatever were Irish, and so he's kind of pissed off at his own people, but then he doesn't realize that. He just he wants the police to bow down to him, and obviously they don't, and he's very unhinged. There's a lot of insults thrown, and it is the writings of someone who's not mentally stable, and it reflects that. This is a great edition if you find it. It has photos of the people. You have Steve Hart, one of the Kelly gang members. You have Stringy Bark Creek right there, and that's infamous because so pretty much a group of police officers were sent into that area to arrest the Kelly gang for horse theft and robbery because they were all pretty much young men. And what happened was the police they got ambushed by the Kelly gang pretty much, and they were all, except one police officer who escaped, were brutally murdered. And it's interesting because sympathizers of Ned will always be like, they were out to arrest him. Did he really kill them? And we're seeing how the victim, it was so gruesome. It was the first crime scene photos ever taken in this country. And we have, they made pacts with the bodies in terms of shooting them. And it was just wild. And yeah, if you want to know more, because I feel like I'm not doing any good job at all, pick up any of these books, but also just do a wiki search. And yeah, so that's all we have of Ned himself. And then I've got 2 biographies, and I want these to be good. I'm fingers crossing, touching wood. And that's Kate Kelly. This is Ned's younger sister. And I actually don't know much about it. She looked a bit scary. Oh, here it is. Here's a full picture of Ned. Yeah. And there's his, in the corner, his bushranging armor. And yeah. He had a nice beard for someone who was literally 25, I will say. And this is a biography of his younger sister, it looks like. And I hope it's not too sympathetic. I hope it sticks to the facts. Especially, I want to see how they write about her death, because she died very mysteriously, bit sus. And I'll show you what she probably looked like. There you go. That's what she looked like. And this was in, actually don't know, 1880-ish. And yeah, this is a biography about his younger sister. And then we have the last book here is a biography of Ned's mum, Kate Kelly. And Kate is very interesting. She people will say that she stood up for her family, that she didn't do anything wrong, yet despite the fact she was arrested multiple times for insulting authorities, for assaults, insulting and everything. She was a very tough Irish woman. She lived till she was like in her 90s. And this is a nice biography of her. I hope it's well. And I wonder how much of it will be about her, or will, like, her children. 'Cause she had 12 kids, including Ned and Dan and like some of the Kelly gang. And I wonder how much of the book will be about them, and she'll kind of get a backseat treatment in this biography, maybe. I hope not, but we'll see how we go. If it's not good, I will get rid of it happily. But yeah, so that was my last book. And that's all the books I have for you today. If you've read any of these, please let me know what you think of them. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you, BookTube.